Hi everyone, today I'm gonna take you to Tuscany and I'm gonna show you 7 hidden gems that I'm pretty sure you don't know about. These places are off the beaten path but definitely worth a visit. And I promise you, you won't see the typical crowd that you can experience, for example, in Florence or Siena. I'm gonna tell you a bit about each spot, what makes it special, and also why I think it's definitely worth a visit. But let's jump straight into it.
Falling down, rain falling down.
Let's start straight away from Pitigliano in the south of Tuscany. This town is perched on a cliff of limestone, actually to be more precise is a tufa rock, and it really looks like coming out from a fairy tale. Pitigliano is often called the Little Jerusalem, and that's because of the Jewish heritage, can you believe it? Pitigliano streets are narrow, winding and full of charm, and the old stone buildings, especially the synagogue and the ancient Jewish quarter, really give this place a unique vibe. Now, you may have already heard of Pitigliano actually because of its famous wine. The white of Pitigliano, Bianco di Pitigliano, absolutely fantastic that you must try once there. And if you think about Tuscany, it's usually dominated by the red wines, the Chianti being the most famous one. But this white is a bit special because the volcanic soil gives the wine a really distinct flavor. So if you visit Pitigliano, definitely a tasting of this wine is gonna be part of your experience. Pitigliano is a small town, don't expect it as big as, for example, Siena, but it's absolutely full of history and charm. So it's definitely a place you can spend a few hours there just wandering around the beautiful lanes, and definitely it's a place where you can think about booking a place for 2-3 nights and just relax and chill out. It's also close to another couple of towns that I'm gonna mention in this video, so it's a great spot where you can spend part of your holiday. And now let's talk about Monteriggione, a place that looks like coming out straight from the medieval time, with its massive stone walls and incredible towers. I personally suggest walking along the old walls, where you can get an incredible view of the surrounding countryside, which is between Siena and Florence. The town is so well preserved and it has a timeless feel. Monteriggione was actually featured in the video game Assassin's Creed 2. Now, the designers were inspired by its medieval layout, so if you're a fan of the game, the place is definitely a must-see. I would personally suggest visiting Monteriggione if, for example, you are driving from either Pisa or Florence to Siena. In fact, Monteriggione is just 10-15 minutes by car to Siena, so it's a great place also to visit on a day trip if you are staying in Siena. And if you don't have a car, there is actually a bus leaving from the Siena station to the start of the road leading up to Monteriggione, and this road is just 600 meters, so it's not a crazy walk up. Next we are heading to San Quirico d'Ocha, which is sort of southeast of Siena. This town is in the heart of a famous Val d'Ocha, with stunning views of rolling hills, cypress trees, basically one of the most picture-perfect parts of Tuscany. Personally, I find San Quirico d'Ocha one of the most beautiful towns in the Ocha Valley, just because it's so much quieter than the nearby towns like Pienza or Montalcino, but it's just as beautiful. The main attraction here is the historic center with its beautiful churches, including the Church of San Quirico and the amazing Horti Leonini Gardens, a place you want to spend maybe 1 or 2 hours and possibly even organize your picnic. If you can, plan a visit to San Quirico in June, when you will find the Festa del Barbarossa, a beautiful medieval festival where everybody dress up, then there are parades, flag throwers, and then there are new also street taverns, so the town really gives their own best. You may feel like stepping back to the medieval time, and for this reason I really suggest a visit in June if you're traveling with family, because kids will have lots of fun there, or if you are into photography, because you will have plenty of subjects for your photography. San Quirico is just a 15-minute drive from what I call Gladiator Point. That's where Gladiator actually was filmed, and if you haven't seen that movie, I definitely suggest watching it because lots of scenes were actually made in the Ocha Valley. San Quirico is also so well positioned between Montalcino and Montepulciano, These are the two towns where you can drink some of the best wines in Tuscany. The famous Nobile di Montalcino and the Nobile di Montepulciano, and then you have the Red di Montalcino and the Red di Montepulciano. What basically this means that even when you go for the house wine in any taverna or restaurant, you can bet that you're gonna have some amazing wines for maybe just 10 euros for a bottle. By the way, let me know in the comment section if you're interested to know more about the Tuscan wines and the wineries, possible itineraries through them, the best areas to visit. You know, I graduated as a sommelier 25 years ago, and as a part of my study was to spend time in Tuscany tasting wine. And believe you me, I had such a great time. Next up is Montemerano in the Maremma area, south of Tuscany, closer actually to the coast. What makes Montemerano special is its peaceful vibe and the stunning views of the surrounding hills. Montemerano is also famous for its beautiful old town center and its narrow street and lovely piazzas. Montemerano is close to Pitigliano, the first town we talk about, and also to the Terme di Saturnia, a beautiful spa area. And for this reason, I usually definitely suggest Montemerano. For example, if you are traveling as a couple, you just want to have a place to relax, chill out, going to the spa, have a beautiful dinner in the old town. And if you're planning to stay there for a few days in summer, that's fantastic because you can have easy access to the beach right on the Tuscan coast. And now let's move east of Montemerano and Pitigliano, and we will be in Cetona, a place which is easily reachable even from the highway between Rome and Florence. This little village is set against the backdrop of the Cetona mountain, and it has a beautiful, peaceful atmosphere. The town is very small actually, but its views are definitely stunning. You can explore the narrow streets and then head up to the top of a hill for some of the best views of Tuscany. Cetona is also known for its ancient caves, archaeological sites. The area around the mountain has been inhabited since prehistoric times, and you can visit some of the sites if you're interested in history. Another great finding that I had in my recent trip to Cetona in late September was the presence of chestnut trees, and believe you me, the chestnut's taste was matching perfectly the local red wine. Now you may ask yourself, how do I know all of these places? Well, 25 years ago we decided to buy a small, tiny property close to Cetona and Montepulciano. It was one of the best buys actually we had in our life. We regularly go back, rent a car and just explore the areas of Tuscany and the nearby Umbria. I'm gonna leave in the video description my suggested website to rent cars, and this is a website I've been using for 5 years and I've been always so happy. And please also let me know in the comment area if you have ever thought about buying a property in Tuscany, or maybe if you're actually doing that. I'm not a real estate agent, I'm not gonna contact you, so don't worry about that, I'm just curious. But let's keep going. And now let's move back to the Pitigliano and Montemerano area, because there is another town I want to talk about, and this is Sorano. This town is built right into the rock with ancient buildings, churches and also a fortress that blends all together, creating a unique atmosphere. Sorano is often called the Matera of Tuscany because of a similar cliffside positioning. And if you don't know Matera, which is in the south of Italy, in the region called Basilicata next to Puglia, absolutely have a check to the video, especially if you're planning also to visit the Puglia area. Sorano is also home to an incredible underground network of tunnels and chambers carved by the Etruscans more than 2000 years ago. And some of them were used as escape routes, especially during the invasion in the medieval time, and these places obviously turned to wine storage. And today you can explore a few of them, and this is a thing I really suggest to do, especially in summer, where you can have, you know, that 17-18 degrees cool time during the hot summers of Tuscany. Actually, the tiny property that we bought has a couple of caves and a couple of tunnels, and then you can go from the property down back of a hill, and that was the way used to escape from the invasions. And I thought about reconverting them in possible a bathroom and so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, after 25 years, I still have to work on it, and at the moment I'm using these places just to store my wine. And finally, let's move to the eastern part of Tuscany, bordering Emilia-Romagna, to talk about Anghiary. This is a hilltop village surrounded by thick walls and narrow streets. The historic center is so well preserved and you can really feel the history as you walk around. I personally suggest to visit this place, especially if you're spending some time in Arezzo, maybe planning to visit the more famous Cetona. I'm sure you are familiar with Cetona. I was there only a few months ago. Beautiful town, but also so busy. And in this respect, if you want to have more of a hidden gem, go and visit Anghiary. From Anghiary you can also have an incredible view over the Tiber Valley. Now, you may be already familiar actually with the Tiber River, which translates in Italian to Tevere. This is the river that goes through the eternal city of Rome. Another place I have a possibility to live. I actually made a couple of videos that probably I'm gonna put on the corners here. Definitely a place you want to visit, but definitely not an hidden place. And here we are with the 7 hidden gems I wanted to suggest about Tuscany. But please let me know in the comment if you have been to any of these places, how you like it, or if you want to suggest any place I haven't covered in this video. Now, before leaving the video, please put a like if you appreciated the effort in doing this video, and remember to subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna post more about Tuscany in the next few weeks. So ciao ciao, and I see you soon. Bye!